All we talk is money, honey. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. It's like bees to the honey. Honey, money, honey, money, honey. It's the SOSCAST, baby.
All right, welcome out there. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. Welcome to the SOSCAST on Valuetainment. I'm Adam Sosnick, and today, take a guess, Nat. You know what we're doing? All we talk is money.
Money.
One of our old school type of situations right now. Sometimes we talk dating. Sometimes we talk politics. Sometimes we talk pop culture. Sometimes what's going on in America. Today, all we talk is money.
Money.
Nat, how you feel about money?
I love money. Let's talk about some
I got
money.
something for you. Let me see what's going on. We're broke. We got no money here. I don't know.
That's
Someone
why
must
we're
have
talking
stole
money.
the money. There's no way that they stole the money.
No.
Hold on, Nat.
You gotta put it in there.
You know what? Make this, figure that thing out at one point. Oh my God, we're having technical difficulties. We'll figure that out. Today, we are talking money. Why? Because some of the stats out there we're starting to see is pretty
Scary.
shocking and pretty alarming what's going on in America. You know, I started this entire show, Soz Talks Money is what it used to be called. Now it's called the SOSCAST, baby.
Yes.
And all I did was talk money. And the reason I started the show is because I went from being a broke 25-year-old jack of all trades. I'll never forget. I remember a friend of mine, total weirdo, total just this guy, you never thought he would do anything with his life. All of a sudden he calls me, Soz, I just made 70 grand. I was like, oh my God, that's pretty crazy. And this is, you know, when I grew up, it was in like the 1840s out.
It's a lot of money.
It's 2006. I said, oh, you made 70 grand this year? No, I made 70 grand on this paycheck.
Oh.
I mean, this sounds like a Wolf of Wall Street thing. I said, you show me $70,000 right now. I quit my job. I work for you. Boom.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God, this guy? And it was Miami real estate. Things were popping at that time. And we all know what happened in the real estate market in 2008, 2009, Great Recession. But it was a wake-up call because I've seen successful people make serious money. And it's like, well, you know, they're from a rich family. They went to an Ivy League school. They had all the pedigree and the accolades. Of course, they're gonna make some money. But this freaking guy just made 70 grand. Oh, wake up call, boom. So then what happened was, I bust my ass for 10 years. 10 years later, next thing you know, a millionaire. And the reason I say that is because if I can do it, so can you. And I'm gonna tell you some stories today, some anecdotes today about how ordinary people become extraordinary, how PBD has helped a lot of these people. You know this very well. Yep. And we're going to run through a couple different stories here that I think are going to help you do a few things. Either make more money, save more money, spend less money, have a better relationship with your money, and just be an overall better person with money. All we talk is money. All we talk is money. Without further ado, we all know Natalia Del Valle in La Casa.
Hi, everyone.
She's here.
Yes. Ready to get this party started. I think today is one of my favorite topics when we talk about on here. I think it's always an opportunity to learn, for you also to give your experience and feedback. But I'm interested to see some of the things that we cover. And I'm also excited to have Alejandra here give some of her experience, you know, too, when it comes to money. I think having people learn to love that relationship with money. I think sometimes it can be intimidating, especially if you don't know anything about money. So how do you love to have a relationship with money and invest? And it's those uncomfortable conversations that you actually provide and kind of in your day-to-day that you're able to, you know, help people have a relationship with money. So I'm excited.
That's right. So, by the way, quick shout out to Alejandra in La Casa. Let's just make sure she doesn't know what money is, but she know what it means to guardar el dinero.
What?
I know how to say
Save that money in Spanish.
Oh.
But yeah, the thing with money is, you know, they say there's a couple of things that are taboo in today's society they shouldn't talk about. Don't talk about money. We talk about money. Don't talk about sex. Don't talk about dating relationships. We talk about that.
Yeah.
Don't talk about politics. Don't reveal your politics. We talk about that. Don't talk about religion. We're totally comfortable talking about that.
Yep.
This is what Valuetainment stands for: free speech, having conversations, having discourse, having debates, and talking about uncomfortable situations. And at the forefront of those things is the moolah. So here's some of the topics we're going to cover today, and then let's get this party started. So number one, I'm going to tell you a story about how you can make more money, how PBD enabled his top sales guys to make more money, some of the tricks of the trade with that. Should you follow your passion? Should you follow the money? We'll reveal the answer to that. Spending money. We're going to talk about a TikTok guru who gave the worst financial advice ever. I had some choice words for him. We'll have that discussion. We'll give a little stats as far as how much people are spending money versus saving that money. The Jews, I love the Jews. They're good people. They're great people. They're people on both sides. Why do the Jews have such a good relationship with money? Takes one to know one, they say. But we'll talk about why Jews do overwhelmingly better with money than other people, than most people. We'll have that conversation today. As well, again, money, dating, sex, politics, religion. We're not shying away from anything right here. By the way, if you're watching right now, give a sub, give a like to the channel if you're seeing us for the first time. Happy to be here with us on Valuetainment on the Sauce.
Yes.
Here we go. Longevity. Should you spend? Should you save? How long are you going to live? What's going on? We got Jake giving cha-chings every time that we say the word money. Yep, there it was. More advice from PBD. Elon Musk, he got hated on pretty big time.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear what he did?
No.
Nothing. He didn't do anything. He said, I tune out the haters. We'll have that conversation with there and some things that you can do as you find success, what you can do to all the haters in your life. Andrew Tate had a couple things to say on that. We'll have that discussion as well. Will Smith, not sure if you've noticed. Will Smith's back, baby.
Yeah, he is.
Will Smith's back. They counted him out.
Who would have thought?
And we're going to reveal why he's back. Some of his secret to his sauce, the secret sauce to Will Smith, right, Nati?
Yes.
That's right. And what you can do if you're starting to make more money than your friends, or if you're the brokest friend in your crew.
Ooh.
I've been on both sides. I was my brokest friend, and then I was one of my more successful friends. I'll have that conversation right there. It ain't easy, but you need to talk about it. And the last but not least, does money actually make you happy? We have some stats to back it up. Without further ado, before we start the episode, by the way, if you need financial coaching, money advice, business advice, you want to know what to do in the workplace, relationships, whether it's a boss, whether it's a partner, whether it's with a loved one, whether it's someone in your life, all the above, you can find me on Connect. I'm how many away from 2,000 consultations? Nat?
19.
Nat, that's 6. No, Nat does not know.
I didn't know if you were asking me.
She said 19. I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, Nat, we all know she's a lovely DEI hire. She's not here for her math or geography skills. She's here for that smile. Ding.
I'm here for many
There it was
skills.
right there. Nat, I said, how many am I away from 2,000? You said.
I said you have.
Nat, what's 2,000 minus 1994? 6. Duh. Kennedy Shanahan coming to a election near you. We love you, Nat.
You're welcome.
Alejandra, Jake, the
I'm
crew
on Connect.
out here. Thank you
Everyone's
guys for
on
being
Connect.
here. Find me on Connect.
Yes.
We ready to start the show?
Let's start.
Let's start the show? Okay.
Keep your shoes on.
Let's start the show. So, the secret to getting rich. What's the secret to getting rich?
What is
I
it?
may have just found it. Everyone says, I got the secret sauce. Here's what you need to know about getting rich. I think I found it.
Oh.
I think this guy, rap name Fogey, this guy might have just uncovered the secret to getting rich. Listen closely, because it might slip past you real quick. Here is the secret to getting rich. Go ahead.
He's Jewish.
It's one of the fastest ways to get rich. Start making money. A lot of people don't know this, but one of the best ways and easiest ways to get rich is to make money.
Wow.
Before Elon Musk was
Shit.
rich, he wasn't making any money. Then he started making money, and that got him to be rich. Jeff Bezos.
Unbelievable.
He wasn't making money
Yeah.
at one point.
As a
Then he
kid,
started making money.
That's what happened.
What happened? He got rich. One of the things you need to do if you want to be rich is
Wait for
to
it.
find ways to make money.
Oh my God.
And lots of it.
Groundbreaking
Not just make a little bit of money,
advice.
because a little bit
There
of
it
money
is.
won't get
This is
you
great.
rich.
No.
Right now, I'm providing a course
Yep,
online
here it
to
is.
teach you how to get money. If you buy my course, you will find one of the first steps I provide and the insights that I provide is that you need to make money.
way.
Thanks for following. Subscribe for more content. Thank you very much.
By the way, if you're watching right now, give that guy a follow because clearly he knows what he's talking about. Turns out, late breaking news right now, you need money in order to be rich. Crazy. And in order to get rich, you need to, wait for it, Matt, what?
Make
money.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yikes.
Now, that's obviously some satire right there, but sometimes we got to state the obvious. You can't be rich unless you make that money. Now, we're going to have some conversations about how to make the money and then what to do when you make the money.
Oh.
Do you just spend it all, Nat? What do you?
No, you shouldn't.
You know? Do you save it all? Well, you can't
Good.
just. You know, it's not a binary choice right there. We'll have that conversation right there. But
no.
groundbreaking news in the financial industry, my friend Fogey out here, you got to make money in order to be rich. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy conversations. Obviously, it's satire.
That's
But the truth of it is the following. The number one source of money is your income. Let me say that again. Your income is your number one source of money. You know, everyone's talking about a side hustle. Well, you should be focusing on the main hustle before you can focus on a side hustle. Because if you don't lock down a main hustle and don't have a profession and don't have a skill set, don't have a particular set of skills, like you're from Liam Neeson from the movie Taken, you're constantly going to be looking for a side hustle, and the main hustle might not be there too long. So what do I mean? When it comes to making money, this is something called income. Hello. I mean, do that with me, Nat. Income. And then you, at any point, if that gun starts working, just make it rain on here. But here's some options for income. Number one, you can have a salary. All right.
Okay.
You can be commission, right? Compensation packages. Take a percentage of what you sell. You can have a side hustle, right? Or a few side hustles. At one point in my life, I didn't have a main job. I just was side hustling and moving and shaking. There's a lot of people like that. That is a scary situation to be in. There's a lot of people that I meet in Miami that it's like, hey, what do you do for work? Well, you know, I do crypto, but I also DJ and I also host a party. By the way, if you need a boat captain, I got you. By the way, I also do breakdancing for a crew right here. Bang, bang, bang. And by the way, if you need someone to mow your lawn and paint your fence, I got you. But by the way, did I tell you about my crypto fund? What do you do, bro? Because the reality is you need to be known for one thing. Everyone's talking about I need multiple streams of income,
Right.
and I need to have passive income and passive investments. No, you don't. You need to be known for one thing, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s. The biggest lesson that I had to learn was I was a broke jack of all trades, nightlife, comedian. Some said I was funny. Some said I was funny. Some other people are saying, I don't know. I was trying to do real estate. I was trying to become a sports agent. I was doing this, that, the other, was broke. Finally, I woke up one day when my buddy, this freaking guy, made 70 grand in one paycheck. I said, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I moved out of Miami and moved to Boca, and I became a cold caller. We know the rest is history. I've been running this financial firm for 18 years. But the reality is I became a specialist. And we'll talk a little bit about developing a specialty in a little bit. But within these options, salary, commission, salespeople, side hustle, passive income, having a specialist, the good doctor, Dr. Scott Galloway, was having a conversation, and it was really just, it hit home with me because I was like, yep, that's exactly how I made my money. And then Chris Williams responded with, by the way, here's a little bit more anecdotal evidence to why it helps do what you do as a salesperson. Check this video out. Go ahead.
Is the difference between being the CFO, the COO, and the CEO. And you might decide, I'm just not up for that. But the reason why the most overcompensated people in every organization relative to their talent are all one person, one title, and that's salesperson, is they are willing to endure rejection. And if you want to be overcompensated or you want to romantically punch above your weight class, then get used to rejection. And if I'm trying to give my boys anything, it's the ability to endure rejection.
It's the same for friends. So many of the people that I've connected with as friends have come about from me not caring about sending a DM. This is why, here's my hot take of the week. Everybody should become a club promoter for at least 2 months at some point in their life.
I've been a club promoter for
because if you've given
half
out
my life.
wristbands on the street for some dead-ass bar
100%.
or club to try and get
100%.
people in. Hey guys, where are you going tonight? Right, I know that you're going to the club that's really busy and you know the name
Yep.
of and is highly reliable for a good night. But how about you come to this one that
The
you've never
shady
heard of
bar
before,
down the street,
down
yeah.
a dark alley?
Yeah,
like
there was.
the online lack of rejection or lack of fear of rejection that you go through from just sending DMs. So many of the good things that have happened in my life have come about due to random DMs. And the same goes from friends too. So many of my best friends we met via the internet and they said, dude, I love this thing that you do. Or we met at this place.
Okay. So there's a couple of things I'll take away with that. Number one, he said the most overcompensating people are salespeople. Why? Because a lot of times there's no ceiling on your compensation. Now, there's been years, my first year in the business, where I made literally $5,000. The first time that you start off in sales, you're going to probably have to eat shit. I had to smile and dial and make no money. But then there's years where I've made $500,000, sometimes more, sometimes anywhere in between. But I'm compensated on not just my hourly wages. I'm compensating on the size of the deals and the size of the people that I can bring in to a company. You know this situation right here because your family is one of PBD's top agencies within PHP. And what I wanted to sort of highlight right now is what I think PBD has done creating PHP. Here it is right here. He's helped turn what I would call just ordinary people into extraordinary salespeople. And they're in the financial industry. And I know some people will say, well, you know, it's insurance, it's MLM. This is a highly regulated, highly profitable, highly just a business that is done the right way, is I guess what I'm trying to say, because it is monitored by the DOL and the insurance industries. And there's no fraud or anything like that. But the point is this. I've seen these people, and some are tall, some are short, some are fat, some are round, some are women, some are black, some are white, some are Latinos. There's you want to talk about DEI mandates. PBD just haphazardly walked into creating a company that is multicultural and is, I mean, I think, what is it, 60% women in the company? What is it?
Yeah, it's like 60% women. The average agent is a 33-year-old Latin American female.
Insane.
Yeah.
And these people, I've seen the stories, whether it's someone like Rodolfo, if you go back to that picture, this guy is from El Salvador. He's the shorter one in the picture. He's a multi-millionaire. He was a security guard. Matt Zapala, which we'll talk about right there, he was what?
For Sears.
He was a security guard for SEALs. He's 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing. He's like Rudy in the movie Rudy. And multi-millionaire, one of the top earners at PHP. Matt Zapala, absolute stud. This guy was a Marine. He was making decent money after the Marines. Next thing you know, he meets PBD. He plugs into a system.
Yeah.
That's another thing you have to be, is making sure that it's not just the industry, it's the type of company within the industry. Plugs into a system. All of a sudden, 7-figure club, money smart guy, multimillionaire right there. Ricky on the right, absolute motherfucking gangster from Mexico. This guy changed his life. His wife as well. By the way, all of them and their wives, super successful. They were average people. Lastly, the person on the left, Jose Gaitan, PBD tells a story about he was driving a jalopy, crying in his car in 2010. I don't know what, I can't do this. I don't want to be broke, telling all this. But good things take time. 2024, the guy's a multimillionaire. All these guys have
beautiful family,
kids, millions, but they were ordinary at one point. Now you look at these guys now, and by the way, they all have wives. They all successful. It's not just the men, it's the women as well. Latin, Spanish, black, white, up, down, left, right, men, women, fat, short. It doesn't matter. There's zero excuses. All these guys learned to sell, and they've made millions. I've been able to do the same. The beautiful thing with sales is that it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you don't make excuses and you just buckle up, smile, dial, get your foot on the pedal, and you drive around. Good things will happen. And I think the reality with salespeople is most salespeople, here it is, talking about rejection, whether it's sales, whether it's in nightlife, whether you're the promoter like they talked about, whether it's going up to girls, whether it's trying to make friends, most people give up after the first no.
Yeah.
But in sales, a sale is made typically after the fourth no. So meaning 5 times, no, 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 yes. And that's what good salespeople learn to do and deal with rejection. What have you seen, Nat, being in the PHP culture industry about regular, ordinary people becoming extraordinary salespeople and leaders?
I think my favorite part was kind of just seeing people transition from having no experience, no background, into getting the license with the state, getting all the credentials needed, the background check, and then learning the products, and then changing people's lives through that. I think, it's a product that it's, you have to actually sell it. It's not something that, it sells itself, but it's not something that you give to somebody. And so when you sell a product that, it's for the just in case, and that just in case happens, right? God forbid they get in an accident. I've seen a few policies pay out. And I think watching the policy pay out and watching what the family, how their outcome is after something so tragic, I think that's what kind of even keeps people there for so long. But my favorite thing is to watch people also, go from maybe even making average income, to then making what they make in a year in 1 month. These people go from making, $5,000 a month max to making $50,000 a month. And that's a lifestyle difference. That's you think bigger, you dream bigger. And it's an industry that has a lot of regulation, a lot of growth, but it changes people's lives, in chaotic times, but it also changes people's lives to people who are looking for an opportunity. It's a place where you can make money on a referral basis if you wanted it as well by getting that license. So, a lot of growth in a lot of different areas too.
Well done. I know your family's done very well. Now, listen, this isn't a commercial for PHP. This is a commercial for sales.
Sales, yeah.
No matter what industry you're in, it could be real estate sales, it can be insurance sales, it could be financial sales, whatever it is. People like doing business with people they like.
Yes.
Now, you might say, dude, I'm not even in the sales business. Why? I have a full-time salary job. This is like, why this isn't applicable to me. You're wrong. Because no matter what business you're in, you need to sell yourself. You need to sell yourself. So in order to get a job, you need to learn how to sell yourself to get the job.
Yeah.
Hey, this is why you should hire me. In order to keep the job, you need to sell yourself to your boss.
Yeah.
You need to sell yourself to your people you work with. In order to get a raise, you need to sell yourself as, hey, this is what I've done. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You're constantly having to sell yourself. Oh, by the way, you want to go get a date? You're going to have to sell yourself to that. You want to go get a new apartment? You're going to have to sell yourself to, this is why I qualify to get this apartment. You're constantly having to sell yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a skill set that is not only helpful, it is mandatory in order to succeed in life today.
Yeah.
Unless you're an absolute specialist, like meaning you're a doctor, lawyer, you went to school for this, you're not going to get an amazing salary. So whatever you do, you're going to have to sell yourself. Even if you start a business, you say, listen, I'm going to be a business owner. You have to sell yourself to the marketplace as to why they should use your business or use your product. So sales solves everything. And that's something that you should understand. No matter what business you're in the people business, and people like doing business with people that they like. Couple more points.
Yeah.
Follow your passion or follow the money. Which one is it? The money or the passion? I would argue that it's actually neither. The answer is you should follow your talent. So, because if you follow your passion, you might end up broke because your passion is playing hopscotch or watching baseball games or playing fantasy football or going to the mall and shopping or rock climbing. I don't know, whatever the hell your passion is. A lot of times your passion doesn't pay. You know when you should work on your passions? On the weekends, bro. Number 2, should you follow the money? Yes, I would say follow the money more than passion. But if you just do something for the money, you're going to burn out.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, dude, I hate this fucking job. I'm doing it for the money. It's so annoying. But the money is good, which we'll talk about throughout the episode. But it's not the only thing. But if you follow your talent, I'm good at this. If I utilize my skills, this is something that people will pay me for. Oh, wow, I'm good at this. Now, I always knew I would do something in sales. I did radio sales. Turns out I didn't like selling airtime. You know, they said if you can sell air, you can sell anything.
Yeah.
But I felt like an airhead because I was like, by the people always ask. I was talking with Dustin Goskowski the other day, the Manek champion out there, double belt. He said, you know, a lot of people ask what the average person gets paid. Hey, what does the average realtor get paid? Hey, what does the average insurance guy get paid? What is the average? He said, this is the best way to look at it. What does the top realtor get paid?
Right.
What does the top editor get paid? How does this work? What does the top guy get paid? Because if you want to compare yourself to the average, you're just going to be average. If you want to compare yourself to the top, you're going to be part of the 10% or the 1%. So I remember being in the radio sales business. I said, what does the top guy make here? Oh, 150 grand? No, I'm out. So, and then I got into real estate. Yeah, real estate's good. It turns out I don't like showing apartments off. It wasn't for me. Oh, financial sales. I can talk money, but I can do networking. I can use my skill set. All right. I'm not really like a numbers geeky cruncher, guys, but I can do biz dev. I can talk to people like, hey, how you doing? We're over here. Oh, I'm using my skill set and my talent to make money. So here's what I would do if I'm you right there and you're like, all right, Adam, what's your freaking point? What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Double down on your strengths. A lot of people say, well, listen, focus on what you're weak at and then try to prove that. Fuck that. Outsource your weaknesses. All right? Like, dude, I can't plug in a computer. You couldn't tell me how to, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Couldn't turn it on. But if there's a camera rolling, hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? Welcome to SOSCAST. All we talk is money. So I'm playing to my strengths and I'm using great people to outsource my weaknesses. By the way, it turns out I can't clean my clothes. Like, I can't dry clean. I outsource that.
Good.
You know? So double down on your strengths and outsource your weakness and master a talent. Be known for one thing. And then when you have that locked up, then you can pivot. So for instance, I did insurance sales for 15 years, 13 years before I started getting into podcasting. I was like, holy shit, I made a bunch of money. Great. Now I can afford to work on my passion on the weekends. A lot of people forget about their main hustle and they pivot to trying to have more side hustles. Next thing you know, the main hustle falls apart and there's just a side hustle.
Yikes.
Focus on the main hustle, not the side hustle. Just like you should focus on the main chick, not the side chick.
Oh, or you should just have a main chick.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
One chick.
But that's the point right there. So I've been fortunate enough to work with PBD. And not only just PBD, but all the great people that he's surrounded himself, the top sales leaders at PHP. And they all have one thing in common. They work their ass off. So good things in life don't happen easily. If it was easy, everyone would do it. So if sales is something you're considering,
Do it.
and that's one of your skill sets, look into it, get used to rejection, get used to not making money initially, but then competence will turn into confidence. Then you become that dude. Then the money starts coming in, cha-ching. But that is the secret to getting rich and making money. There it is right there.
Doesn't work.
So moving right along.
Okay.
There's a conversation out there like, all right, when you make your money, what should you do with it?
What's next?
Right? What's next?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out there's this TikTok guru that's giving incredible advice. And when I say incredible, I mean incredibly dumb advice.
I was going to say the other guy.
And it's one of the things where I see advice like this, there's going to be people that listen and be like, that's my dude. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Turns out this TikTok guru is an absolute buffoon. Here's his advice on what you should do with your money. Go ahead.
Stop fucking saving money. Whatever you have, spend it now. The tomorrow that you are saving for may not even come. So fuck it. Enjoy the fruits of your labor while you still have life in your body. Let future you deal with future problems. Don't leave your money behind to be enjoyed by lawyers, opportunistic family members, and the fucking government. Spend your fucking money and live before you die. That is all.
Yes.
Stop the cap.
Yeah,
Stop the
thank you.
cap.
Now, I say this all the time. It's not racist if you make fun of everybody. And now this motherfucker going to get it. Let me tell you something. What happens if you spend all your money? There's going to be a 5-letter word that you are going to find out. You will be BROKE, broke. Don't listen to this fake guru. By the way, I don't even know if he has a real accent.
I don't know.
I think he's just like a Latino guy that's like, yo, what's up? Put on a little thing. Okay,
No, he doesn't
don't
look like a
spend
Latino.
your money. Horrible advice. Absolute horrible
That
advice.
is pretty
This
horrible.
goes into the same realm as don't go to the gym. Just sit around all day
And eat.
and eat whatever you want. Live your life. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about diabetes. Don't worry about heart attacks. Don't worry about obesity. Do what you want. Okay. Hey, by the way, you good? Can you do an Indian accent?
No, I can't.
No, it's great.
But
It's fun
yours
to
is
do.
creepy how
It's
accurate.
creepy. By the way, drink as much as you want. Drink every single day. You don't have to worry about cirrhosis of the liver. I'm sort of losing the accent right now, but you get the point. You're that. Do as much drugs as you want. There's no ramifications. Whether it's not going to the gym, eating like shit, whether it's doing drugs, whether it's drinking, whether it's, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, spending all your money is the worst advice you can possibly give.
Agreed.
It's actually the reason that I started this entire podcast from the get-go. Because I saw the people in Miami spending all the money on the pop in the bottles. I said, you can pop in the bottles. Every single weekend, you got to pick and choose, baby.
Yes.
You have no idea how many people I've seen come in and out of Miami. Born and raised in Miami, been in the nightlife scene since I'm 21. And how much people just foolishly spend. I was at a little place called 11, one of the best places the other day. People just making it rain. I'm making it rain. I'm making it rain. They
Adam.
lose all sensibilities.
No,
And then they wake up the next day and they're like, what the fuck did I spent how much?
too much.
2,500? What? 2,000? I spent unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it too many times.
Yeah.
Have you seen a meme that it's on Instagram or whatever that says like that's why I work, I can spend the money. So it's like you work, you can spend the amount of money that you want. Maybe they think like that.
That's what's called, so work then spend. Work then spend.
Exactly.
So some people live to work, some people work to live. And it's called the rat race. You can never get ahead. You make, you spend, you work, you keep going in the same circle and you never get ahead. And it's a vicious cycle. And that's why people will end up broke. There's the whole phrase here. Here's Steve Jobs, by the way. Don't go broke trying to look rich. Steve Jobs. This guy wore the same Jerry Seinfeld-esque outfit everywhere. By the way, I got like 20 suits.
Yeah.
And 100 white shirts and 100 black shirts, and it's just pick a white shirt, throw on a suit, I'm out. It's easy, it's peasy, it's lemon squeezy, I'm done. I don't spend what do I do? I don't know. I just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. I don't have to spend time thinking about what about that. Just I got my thing and let's go. But when I started doing the show, I went from, again, 25, I was broke as shit, 35, a millionaire. What did I do? There was certain millionaire habits that I had to learn. Oh, okay, cool. So there's something called a budget. I got it. All right, what is that? All right, how much percent of my budget should I put into my rent? Oh, 30%. Transportation. I don't know. These cars are pretty expensive. What happens if I don't have a car? How much money can I save? Oh, I can save $1,000 a month. Oh, I saved 10 grand this year not having a car this year. Oh, okay, cool. Food and beverage. All right, so if I spend this much on takeout, it costs, okay, I understand that money. Saving, investing, all these things you got to learn.
Yeah.
It doesn't come easily. By the way, I teach you these things on Minect. But then I started, one day I wake up and I'm like, holy shit, I'm a freaking millionaire. This is actually crazy because you have to look at your bank account and you're like, oh my God, I'm a millionaire. And you don't have to make $1 million a year to be a millionaire. It's actually cumulative year over year over year over year. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. There's been years I said I made $5,000 my first year. There's been years I made $100,000, $250,000, $500,000. But every single year I'm saving a certain percentage and I'm investing the rest. So what happens if you just spend all your money? What will happen?
It will come back to you.
You think
have to
so?
you have to think that way. So
You
when
know what that's
spend money-
called? Girl math. Girls are just like, I don't know.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
I
All
work,
the money
I
that
spend
I
it.
spent is coming back.
You know. I love you.
as an
Don't take
investment.
advice from a pretty girl who doesn't pay the bill.
I'm just playing around. Adam.
I know, but it's good.
Okay, that's why
But
you guys
here's
pay.
some of the evidence. You have this video. This was, I started filming man on the street videos.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
Back in the day, I used to have a beard because the girl I was dating at the time told me I'd be nothing without my beard. Look at me now. I still have a little bit of a beard.
I like your
This was
shadow
more.
better.
But this is me just interviewing all people at Rolling Loud
Oh no.
in downtown Miami. And I was just asking people one simple question. Save that money or spend that
it.
money?
Ooh.
Very simple, easy answers, but the responses are shocking. Here's this one answer that stood out to me from this genius. Go ahead.
All right, you ready? Quick question. Spend that money or save that money?
Nigga, you spend that shit. You don't save shit, nigga. What?
He didn't even think about it. Just spending it.
Hey, hold on. Spend the check and get it right back. Yeah.
Spend the check and get it right.
Okay. So that's what you're basically saying. Just spend a check, you get it right back. You know, it's just like you spend it and it just comes right back to you. It don't work that way. By the way, that guy's homeless these
Not for a
days.
guy, at least.
That guy's homeless these days. Or he learned a lesson. I don't know. I'm not projecting right now. But
Uh-oh.
spend a check and get it right back. I have no clue what that means. I've never understood what that meant. But
From a song.
you don't save shit. You spend all your money. Well, it turns out there's actually some evidence
Uh-oh.
of people who spent all their money that it didn't work out for them. I don't know too many people that are like, dude, I saved all this money and life sucks. I don't, like, name someone. Now, there might be some people who are way too frugal and way too cheap and are penny pinching. I definitely don't advise that.
No.
We'll have that discussion in a little bit. What is the appropriate balance, what to do with your money? But certainly not saving any of it and blowing a check and spend a check and get it right back. Whip is not the way to do it. Can I see a whip real quick? Here's some celebrities that are regretting listening to that genius spend all his money. We're going to go through the list real quick, and we're going to just focus on the names that you know. Now, Nicolas Cage made hundreds of $millions. By the way, anytime you hear someone made hundreds of millions of dollars but ends up on this list, you know they done fucked up.
Big time.
So we're going to go rapid fire here, but here's Nicolas Cage right there. There is our old friend, Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my God.
We
Is
know
that
her.
Yeah.
If you can scroll down, you'll see basically what she spent
Scroll down.
her money on. I sort of gave it away in her name.
Scroll it down.
Lindsay Lohan, go back up. You can say she spent it on, what is it?
Facing bankruptcy just a few years after failing to pay rent of her £3.5 million
Okay.
London flat.
Basically, she
Right.
spent too much money on housing.
Roughly
Keep going down.
$103,000.
Dionne Warwick, you probably don't remember her. She was a big singer in the 80s.
No.
She just wasted on what, Nat?
She
Shopping.
Shopping. Where? I don't see it. Earned $100,000.
Nat, it says it right under her name, sweetheart.
Oh,
wasted
wasted
it
under
on shopping.
Yes.
Look at her outfit right there. Look at that drip, as the kids call it. Hey, Dion,
The bank account
save that money.
is dripping.
Keep going. You got Aaron
Aaron
Carter.
Carter.
Rest in
He just
peace,
died.
right?
Oh. Yeah.
He just died.
Wasted
he
on
wasted it on a family
family
compound.
compound.
Okay.
Oh, family.
Not the best decision for him. Johnny
Johnny
Depp, we all know that he
Depp.
was in the
Oh,
news for everything
Wasted on
with
nearly everything.
everything.
What a savage.
He literally turned into Jack Sparrow and got drunk and was doing his thing with Amber Heard and wasted all his money. Wesley Snipes, not to be confused with the actor Wesley Pipes. He wasted $8 million on what?
A mansion,
Okay.
among other lavish purchases.
All right, well, that probably doesn't tell the full story. There's our friend Nicolas Cage.
wasted on a shrunken, what?
Pygmy heads.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur skull and private island.
Yeah.
Like the movie he was in.
Yeah,
It's in like that movie.
that's right. And now the movie. Okay, here's another guy right here.
Oh, go down.
This is.
Is there any more?
Yeah, there's more. If we scroll down, there we go. Allen Iverson.
Oh, he wasted on jewelry.
Jewelry.
Maybe for the
Cars,
girlfriend.
clothes, jewelry. Cars, clothes, jewelry. Cars, clothes, jewelry.
Not worth it.
You get one. Get one car. Get one piece of jewelry. Get one watch. Get one necklace.
And you're
That's
good.
it. You know, you can get more than one piece of clothing.
Yeah.
But a lot of these athletes, they've never had money before. And all of a sudden, spend a check and get it right. Oh, I'm broke.
Yeah.
AI. One of the best basketball players ever. One of the best point guards ever.
Needs
Rough.
help.
Stephen Baldwin. One of the Baldwin brothers. What do he waste his money on?
High-end homeless crash pad.
I don't even know what that means.
Me neither.
A high-end homeless crash pad. The irony that he spent it on a high-end homeless crash pad and now he is crashing in the high-end homeless crash pad. What are the irony? Keep going.
He said the homeless man was
That
later
is
arrested.
Gary Busey, not to be confused with Chelsea Handler. Different people look alike. He wasted it on what? What was it right there?
On an addiction.
Addiction.
Yikes.
Addiction.
You said Chelsea Handler?
Not a good situation. Chris
Tucker.
It's Friday. You ain't got no job. I'm gonna get you high today. He wasted on what?
Collection of houses.
How many houses do you need, Chris?
Oh my goodness.
Come on, baby.
$14 million tax.
Rush hour,
Yeah.
rushing to the unemployment store. Any more that we'd like to highlight?
Burt Reynolds wasted on a giant estate in Florida.
Yeah,
Florida.
Burt Reynolds, a.k.a. Dirt Reynolds, a.k.a. rest in peace. What a great man. Now, here's a cautionary
MC
tale.
Hammer.
What was the song that MC Hammer sang?
Oh,
What was it?
I don't remember.
What was it?
It's like,
You can't touch this. No. You know what he can't do with his money anymore?
Can't touch
Can't
it.
touch this. Like these are cautionary tales.
Yeah.
So these are all people who took the advice of the fake guru, spend it all. And they're ending up on this website being talked about on SOSCAST, on Valuetainment, about how they wasted all their money. Why do such a thing? MC Hammer. Francis Ford Coppola, one of the great directors of our time. He wasted on a what?
Musical flop.
All right. There it
Godfather
was.
Trilogy and the Great Films.
I think you guys get the point here. And there's Iron Mike Tyson. We've
Tyson.
interviewed Mike Tyson a few
Exotic
times.
Tigers.
The Tigers. We all saw the movie The Hangover. I'm not going to say anything bad about Mike Tyson because I've seen him in person before. By the way, he's made a comeback. And that's the type of person you don't want to get on his bad side. We spent time with Mike Tyson. We've podcasted with Mike Tyson. He was at the Vault last year. By the way, Tom Brady was at the Vault last year. Mike Tyson was at the Vault last year. It's September every year here in Florida. This year, who's the person that's like this no-name actor that we have this year? What's his name again?
This guy named Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The Rock?
The
I've
Rock?
never even heard of this guy.
I don't know. Have you guys heard of him?
Apparently he's going to be at this Vault conference. I've never heard of the guy, but apparently The Rock is going to be there with PBD. Okay. I mean, I've seen movie stars before, but who's the guy on the right? Unbelievable. Movie star right there, Tom Ellsworth. But The Rock, he's very smart with his money. We're not talking about that. But I give you all those cautionary tales to tell you, don't take this fool's advice.
Yeah.
Don't spend all your money. You're going to need it someday. Here's some data for you because
Data.
we're a data-driven, daddy-like situation out here.
Data for the daddies.
Here's some data. 58% of baby boomers don't have a retirement account, and the ones that do have a median account of $289,000. You know how old a baby boomer is?
And they're 60s.
60s and 70s. Well done. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
You know, they say that you need at least $1 million in retirement. The ones that do have $290,000. That's not pretty. That's not pretty.
Oh.
But it gets worse. But wait, it gets worse. 56% of Gen X, you know how old Gen X are?
Gen X is in their
They're basically
40s.
mid-40s and 50s. They're in the same situation, but possibly even worse. The average retirement account is $82,000, incredibly insufficient for retirement planning. And then here's this article right here. You might be like, what's a retirement account? I've never even heard, because the average American doesn't even know what a 401k is. Talk about financial literacy and unhealthy financial practices. 43% of Americans don't even know what a 401k is. If you don't have a 401k or a Roth IRA or a retirement plan, just be prepared to get real comfortable with the U.S. government.
Oh.
The U.S. government is going to be paying your bills. And when I mean paying your bills, I mean not giving you shit. And you might qualify for Medicaid or maybe Social Security if it's still there. And you on what is called the government plan. You do not want the government taking care of you. This is called the three-legged stools of retirement. You have your personal savings, you have a pension, and then you have Social Security. Social Security, who knows if it will be there? If when you retire, I doubt 90% of you probably don't even have a pension. So what do I mean? Your personal savings, it's on you to research what a 401k is. Sometimes your job, your company will give you free money. Free money.
And they match.
It's called a match.
Yes.
You know, people's working on their match on Tinder. What about your match on your 401k? Hey-o. Let's figure that thing out. Here's what I'll tell you. We went down the list of people that blew their money. We talked about this fake guru that basically said, spend all your money. Don't worry about it. All these rich and famous people ended up broke. We saw the guy at the hip hop festival saying, man, you don't save shit. You spend a check. I had a friend who lived like that. Real talk. I had a friend who was the life of the party. He spent everything he got. He lived a fast life, drugs, alcohol, partying, clubs, girls, addiction. And, they say there's a famous quote, a fool and his money is one big party. Robert Kiyosaki right there. And rest in peace, my friend. It was one big party. And I don't mean this to be callous or cold. I love this guy. He was one of my best friends, but he would not listen to anybody, and he would party. And what happens is a fool and his money are soon parted. So why should you not spend all your money and listen to this fake guru? Because you're going to need it.
Yeah.
Save that money. So moving right along, why do you need to save money? Why is money so important? And then another question is, why do Jews always sort of have a good relationship with money? Insert racial stereotype right here. Thank you, guys. But it's because they teach their children about money. Could it be that financial education, could it be that raising your kids the right way, having values and principles and a code of conduct and ethics, dare I say, can help you do better in life, whether it's with family, whether it's in friends, whether it's in business, whether it's with your health, or yes, with your money. So here is our good friend, Matt Sapalo, the money smart guy. We mentioned him earlier, one of Patrick Bet-David's top producers at PHP, interviewing a rabbi about powerful Jewish money traditions. Go ahead and press play.
Give children Hanukkah, we start educating children about money. The gift we like to give children on Hanukkah is money, and we also accompany that with discussions of what money is and what it's about and what you have to. And now you have to, divide your money into three. One part is for charity, one part is for you to spend on things you need, the other part is to put away and save. So yeah, Hanukkah is the money time of the year for us. It's passing on to the next generation the principles of money that are so important. What we do is we give children.
Whose advice do you want? Do you want this guy's advice or the last guy that we spoke to, who basically says, spend all your money, live for today? No, life is about balance. You notice the rabbi that was being interviewed by Matt Sapala didn't say, save all your money.
Right.
Just like the other guy said, spend all your money. He said there's actually 3 things you can do with your money, which reminded me of something that I remember when I started teaching financial classes called the 50-30-20 rule of money. It's not binary. It's like, should you save it all or spend it all? No, you divvy it up. Now, the 50-30-20 rule of budgeting basically says the following. 50% should go to your needs, 30% can go to your wants, and 20% can go to your savings and your financial future. So what are your needs? 50%. Housing, transportation, food, groceries, healthcare, utilities, insurance. These are things that qualify as needs. I need these things.
Right.
I need a roof over my head. I need to have a transportation to get to where I got to go. I got to eat. I got to live. I got to have insurance. Some people are saying, I don't know about the insurance. But these are things you got to do. Then, much like our good spender friend, this is where you can spend some of your money. You know, have a little fun in life. Whether it's takeout dinners, concerts, cocktails with friends, or some new throw pillows. We got to have those new throw pillows, Nat.
Your pillows.
What are we going to do with them throw pillows?
You need some new throw pillows.
I guess it is. Or fun tech gadgets. It's kind of corny here, but we got to find those throw pillows. I mean, we got to find them.
Yeah.
Are they needs and wants? I would argue that they're needs. We got to get those. But there's that. But then 20% goes to your finances.
Yep.
Whether that's paying down debt, whether that's saving that money, whether that's investing. There's rules to this game. It's not a binary thing, just like how sort of the LGBTQ community is trying to make gender into a non-binary thing. It's the same thing with money. It's not save or spend, it's budget. Oh my God, what a word. You know, they say that 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, but also, correlation, 2/3 of Americans don't do a budget every month. I wonder if there's a correlation right there.
That makes sense.
So you got to find a happy medium. You know, they say, so why should you save this money? Why should you have a financial future? You know, life is short, live for today. Well, life is short? No. Life is actually pretty long.
Yeah.
You know, people are living longer than ever these days. Now, can life be taken away from you at any moment? Yes. So life is not short, life is precious. But the reality is this: if the average person watching this podcast right now is 25, 30, 35 years old, here's the reality. There's a 99% chance you're going to live until 80, 90, 100. And as you get older and healthier in technology and healthcare, people are living longer. I mean, how old are your parents?
They're in their 50s into 60s.
How you have grandparents?
My grandparent just passed away, my last grandparent.
Okay.
He lived until he was 98.
98.
98.
I have a grandma, 93.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Doing her thing. I have
That was
another
on my
grandma,
birthday.
97.
Yeah.
How old are your grandparents?
80s.
80s.
Yeah.
Jake, how old are your grandparents? 88 and 100. Okay, 100. Ding, 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 100.
100.
So those are old people right now. What do you think you're going to be?
When you're older. I think I'll make it
people
to
are living longer.
I think I can make it to 100.
So why do you need money? Save that money? Because life is long. You know, they said Social Security kicked in at 62 or 65. It was never supposed to be a retirement plan.
Yeah.
It was because life expectancy
Was
was basically 67 at that time.
Yeah.
So you were expected to live 3 to 5 years. Oh, you're dead, and then that's what happens.
Yep.
And now there's a whole push where we got to extend Social Security because Social Security is going broke.
Yep.
Because people are living longer. Some people retire at 65. They die at 95. That's 30 years
They need money.
collecting Social Security, living on the government plan.
Yikes.
That's sometimes people. That's like working from 20 to 50. Unbelievable. So is life short? No, life is long. And I started doing this content because I was at a insurance conference back in the day, and I remember they were basically saying that millennials are going to be broke.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on, what? What do you mean? Why are the millennials going to be broke?
Scared.
And I was the youngest person in the room. This was 8 years ago. I'm a millennial. I'm the oldest millennial. And everyone in the office, was MPS, male, pale, and stale at this big conference. All these silver-held white guys. Respect to you guys. I love you, but you're a little bit older.
Male, pale,
And they were
stale.
all talking about baby boomers and what they were doing for retirement. And they were like, yeah, don't worry about the millennials. They're screwed. And I was like, well, what do you mean? What are we going to do about it? And they all like literally laughed, and they were like, what are we going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, buddy? And I was like fired up. I was like, oh my God, I gotta save millennials. I gotta save that money. I gotta save this generation. So I really learned how long people are living in longevity because I'm in the insurance markets and the life expectancy markets and longevity markets. It's like, holy shit, millennials gotta save that freaking money, not being like that last idiot who said, spend a check and get it. Right? Can we just play that video just one time of the guy at the rap concert, Alejandra? Like the guy that I was interviewing? Can we just play that? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. This is the type of thing that motivated me to start doing this entire podcast. You have that?
Yeah, I have the video
Okay,
here.
play that real quick, and then I'll get into why you need to save that money. Go ahead.
Hit the first one.
All right, you ready? Quick question. Spend that money or save that money?
Nigga, you spend that shit. You don't save shit, nigga.
You didn't even think about it. You just spending it.
Hey, hold on. Spend the
Okay.
check and get it right back.
All right.
Spend the
check. Thank you. So that's the kind of thing. Those are the types of interviews. By the way, I did hundreds of those interviews. I was like, oh my God, these mother. What are they? Nat, you've been to Rolling Loud?
Yes.
It's, by the way, it's not even Rolling Loud. This is not
just
single
in
out any single
general.
concert, any type of people. It's white, black, up, Latino, Asian. They all got this problem.
Yeah.
So, this weekend, my Sundays I kind of dedicate to surveying the news. Like the Sundays are my days. I'll work out a little bit, I'll read a little bit, I'll watch the news. And I saw this article on one of my favorite shows, Fareed Zakaria, and the author of this book, The Longevity Imperative, was on the show. We can move that away from now. So the Longevity Imperative, how to navigate our increasingly longer lives. So in the interview, the author was called Andrew Scott. By the way, can we make sure that I get his name right? So people want to look into this book.
Andrew J. Scott.
Andrew.
You want me to show the book again?
Yeah, if you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Andrew J. Scott.
Andrew J. Scott, not to be confused with Michael J. Scott from The Office. Don't be confused with that. Andrew Scott, the Longevity Imperative. But they talked about the 3 big disruptors that that we should be worried about that is going to change society. Number 1 is climate change. They talked about that. Whether you agree with that or not, we'll see what happens. Number 2 was AI and what's going to happen with that. And number 3 was the fact that people are living longer than ever and the longevity of an aging population. Look at this graph right here. I'm not sure if you can hit it with or pause it with before you press play. Yeah, it's it. So in 1960, the average person was expected to live to 75. If you go back to that graph, in at the turn of the century, 1900, people were dropping dead at 55 years old.
Wow.
55 years old. At 1900, I remember like everyone here was born after 2000. I remember when 2000 Y2K was like, oh my God, it's a millennium. It's crazy what's happening right now.
Yeah.
100 years before that, people were dropping dead at 55. What? Okay. Then after World War II, the world was a little bit calmer. Now we're in the mid 50s. People were living into 65, 70. Wow. But if you look all the way to the right of the chart, dude, it is skyrocketing. You see, like it almost looks like a stock market graph. It's going going up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
And then it just skyrockets after 1980. Modern technology, modern medicine is just making people live longer. So the compiled best practice life expectancy is now 85 years old. That's the average. Imagine if you take care of yourself. Imagine. People, this guy said his
100.
grandparents
His
100.
great-uncle.
You said your grandparents 80s. I got grandparents in their 90s.
98.
You know?
That's my grandpa. Yeah.
Joe Biden, 137 years old, maybe running for.
Take him out.
People are living longer. Here's some key takeaways from this interview where they talked about the disruptive forces of society, climate change, AI, but the longevity that you need to focus on. Here's where you should be focusing on 3 big things. And by the way, before I play this, you might be like, dude, I'm 20 years old. Dude, I'm 30 years old. Dude, I'm 40. Yeah, you got parents. Yeah, you got grandparents. Because if they don't understand about saving that money, you're going to be having to pay for them.
Yep.
So here's this guy at 240 giving the 3 things you need to focus on.
But really, I think we've got to focus on 3 things. We already have long lives. We've got to make them healthier for longer. You've got to make sure you're healthy for as long as possible. And we've got to finance a longer life, which means you're going to have to be earning for longer.
Bingo.
So that has big implications about your career.
Longer lives, we just talked about that. We need to be healthier for a longer life. We know about being healthy, but you need to be able to finance a longer life. So that's the whole concept here is the fake guru said, spend all your money. Yeah, you're going to need the money throughout your life. here's sort of the culmination of this interview at 3:26, where he basically says, listen, here's the freaking bottom line. Go ahead.
Your 60s, you're going to stop working, and you're going to die when you're 95.
This is Fareed
That's
Zakaria.
30 years.
30
where
years.
You have to be able to pay
Yes.
the bills.
Now, this is the bit where everyone doesn't like what I have to say, because it's
Say
great
it
to
anyway.
hey, you can live longer and you can be healthier for longer. But if you don't want to see a fall in your standard of living, you've got to produce more over your lifetime. And that, I think, unless AI comes along and makes us all much more
There you go, right
productive
there.
and
You're going to have to
solves the
produce
problem,
more over
it
your
means we have to
lifetime.
work
I talk to people on the Minect app, or I talk to people out there. They're like, bro, I want to retire by 40, bro. I want to make as much money. I want to retire by 50. Bro, you're not retiring anytime soon. Anytime soon. And there's actually data that says that people that retire before they're supposed to retire end up getting bored and dying earlier.
Oh.
You need to stay busy. You need to stay active. There's 2 4-letter words that are my favorite 4-letter words, and then it's not that. It's work and earn. Work gives you meaning. Earning gives you meaning. No matter what you're doing, you're going to have to work and earn it. How to navigate our increasingly longer lives? Work and earn. Not spend a check and get it right back. There's that right there. It's a little food for thought. Now, we were doing the podcast the other day, and PBD told this story. I didn't find that one, but I found where he basically talked about this, about, you're young now, but soon enough, you're going to be old. Your parents were once young when they had you. Yeah. And now look at them now. Your grandparents were young at one point when they had your parents, but look at them now. And PBD tells a story about why you Gen Z and why you millennials out there, you young wolves out there, you young wolves of Wall Streets or all streets out there, why the young wolf needs to take care of the old wolf. Go ahead and play this video, 1.25.
I went to a concert one time back in 2015. And this guy named Dariush, my brother-in-law, took me. I've told the story many times.
Amazing singer.
He gets up at the end and says, I want to talk to all the younger audience here. Here's what I want to tell you. He says, I see the eyes. I see your fire. I see you guys are so excited about life. He says, I remember when I was young and so ambitious and I had the wolf in me, right? He said, just remember this. Make sure the young wolf in you takes care of the old wolf that one day you will be. Again, make sure the young wolf in you takes care of the old wolf that you one day will.
Okay, so it turns out this guy, PBD, I don't know, turns out he kind of knows what he's talking about.
Kind of, sort of.
So whether you want to call it, make sure that the young wolf takes care of the old wolf, whether you want to say, hey, save for a rainy day, whether you want to say, save that money, there's certain things that you need to abide by. Now, here's some a little advice for my friends out there. They say keeping up with the Joneses. Who are the Joneses? So there's certain things you should also avoid as you start to make more money. There's something called lifestyle creep. The more you make, the more nice things that you want to get, the more money you're going to spend, the more that you run out of money, the more, the harder you have to work, the more that you're going to have to get a raise. And it's the vicious cycle. It's called the rat race. There's a lot of creeps out there, but nothing will ruin your money more than lifestyle creep. All right, so you're making 50. Now you're making 65. All right, I'm going to get a nicer car. All right, cool. So now your car is more expensive, but you still have the same amount of money in the bank. Oh, shit, you were making 100. Now you're making 200. Bruh, I got to go get the sickest car out there. I'm going to move into not a 1-bedroom anymore. I'm going to go get a 3-bedroom. Baller. And what happens is the more you make, the more you think I deserve all these nice things. I work my ass off. So here's what I would tell you. If you're starting to make more money, give it a year. Give it 1 year of just stacking cash. I did this. I remember the first time that I closed a big deal. And I'm talking a big deal. I mean, I made 6 figures in one paycheck. You know what I bought?
What?
A property.
1 new suit. I just bought 1 new suit. Cost me about, I don't know, $1,000. So $99,000 just went in the bank. Okay? Now, what I realized was I'm so thankful that I did that because I don't make $100,000 checks every quarter or even every year. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Now, in business, what I tell people is call me with any deal you got. I'll work on a single, I'll work on a double, I'll work on a triple, I'll work on a home run. and eventually I'll hit a grand slam. What I would consider a grand slam is making $100,000 in one check. But sometimes checks are $3,000. Sometimes they're $5,000. Sometimes they're $10,000. Sometimes they're $20,000. I've had all types of checks. But what I did is that big ass check, you know what I did with it? Nothing. I bought a suit so I can look good at the next meeting that was coming up. I look my best, feel your best, act your best. But all of a sudden that money was helping the young wolf prepare for this old wolf when I retire. But those are the types of habits that you develop over time, and that's a relationship with money. Now, you might be like, dude, I'm never going to have 100,000 check in my life. Well, you're going to have a big check in your life. Maybe a big check to you is $5,000. Maybe a big check to you is $10,000. Maybe a big check to you is $50,000. Whatever it is, what I would not do is just go ball out in the club like I see all too often in Miami.
Yeah.
That's sort of a proponent of lifestyle creep. Bro, I'm making more money. I'm going to go get into some new shit. I'm going to buy a nicer watch. I'm going to have a nicer car. I'm going to have a nicer crib. I'm going to spend all my money on nicer shit. Next thing you know, you're in the exact same position and the exact same amount in your bank account. So just pay attention to these creeps out there, especially lifestyle creep. Couple things to take advantage of, or a couple things to avoid. Cars, clothes, jewelry. We talked about that. Houses, partying, the wrong women. These are some of the things to avoid. Will Smith, we're going to talk about throughout this episode. A part of lifestyle creep, keeping up with the Joneses. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people they don't like. That's the biggest thing to me, is the impressing the people as if you think that that is going to what's make you happy. So save that money. Be like that rabbi. Be like the money smart guy, Matt Sapala. Be like PBD, respecting the old wolf and being the young wolf and being the young hustler and not being an absolute creep. Save that money. So we're halfway through, and these stories we're going to do a little rapid fire right now, Nat. Okay? How you feeling, Nat?
I'm feeling good. I think we hit some really good points when it comes to saving money and, specific points in your life. I think through that process of going from that young wolf, I think there's a lot of training and discipline. And I think also in today's time, it's very hard to save your money in a place where you're watching everybody spend their money. I think, also being surrounded by people who are in that mindset of saving money will help you kind of do that. But stay strong out there, everybody. It's hard to save your money in an economy in a time where everyone's spending it and you feel like you need it. So,
especially with social media, I feel like everyone is just in that
social media.
And here's the thing, though. A lot of the time you see the influencers that you follow, you think they're spending their money when essentially they're actually getting paid.
Exactly.
To look like they're spending money. So don't get it twisted.
Friends, because you see your friends doing something on Instagram and then you want to do the same thing. And they spend money, so you want to follow and you just spend money as well. I feel like...
Yeah, there's something called money dysmorphia, and Gen Z and millennials have, I think, 45% of them.
Definitely.
Basically, they have a very wrong relationship with money. They see it, they think they can spend it, all their friends are doing it, and they don't realize, oh my God, I'm racking up debt. Oh my God, I actually don't have this amount in savings.
Yep.
Oh my God, I have nothing saved for retirement. But wow, that trip to Vegas last summer was worth it. All right.
They don't care if they have the money. They just care to show it on social media.
Yeah. I think it's
because
actually,
if you didn't take a picture and put it on Instagram, did it really even happen?
And I think it's actually even worse with women, because women also feel like they could probably operate without not having a lot of money because they get things paid for.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes women are like, oh, I don't have money, but I'm going on a trip. Like, they'll pay for it. I'm like,
or they go out to a bar.
Who's going to pay for it? And so that mindset.
We're going to be discussing that.
Yeah.
On Thursday's show.
Oh, yeah.
With the ladies.
Oh, we have a nice panel for you
money
guys.
And that. The bottom line is this, guys. Save that money.
Yeah. Wednesday.
Thursday. Quick. I want you to answer this right now.
Uh-oh.
Who is the most famous poor person you can think of? Go. Ready? Ding, 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 ding,
MC
ding.
Hammer?
Dung, ding, 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 ding.
Is he poor
Ba,
now?
ba, ba, ba. What you're basically saying is that people were famous, ended up broke. They didn't save that money.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about famous poor today. I would argue that the two are completely correlated. You can't think of many people who are famous and broke. I'm talking about men specifically right now. There's a lot of hot Instagram chicks out there that are Insta famous and broke. I'm talking about dudes. I'm talking about famous dudes that have no money. It's very hard to come up with them. If you see them, put them in the chat below.
Yeah.
But a man, he makes his impact based on his success. What is a derivative of success? Well, the money. For a man to have an impact, for a man to have success, whether it's in business, whether it's in politics, whether it's in sports, whether it's in the community, whether it's in media, whatever it is, they need to have success and they need to actually have some money. It goes hand in hand. As a man, you don't win the game of life being broke. It's just not going to happen. So it's that simple. Winning equals money. And that's what's points on the scoreboard of life. As I often say, men are success objects and women are beauty objects. It's not a binary thing. It's not saying that men can't be good looking and not okay. And it's not saying that women can't also be success objects. But I know plenty of beautiful women who get their rent paid for them simply because they exist. I don't know many dudes like that.
No, I don't know.
I don't know any dudes like that.
I'd be worried.
But I also know plenty of women who pay their own rent, who make their own money. They do their own thing. Destiny's Child.
Ew.
Even Nat doesn't even want to admit that. Unbelievable. But the reality is this: the more success you have, the more money you make, the bigger impact you have. You know what you're going to start accumulating? Haters.
Haters.
Shout out to the haters.
Haters.
The haters will show up and you're going to know it. So nobody is potentially dealing with more haters these days than Elon Musk. Elon Musk, unbelievable. What just happened right here in Miami. So dozens of Cybertrucks were vandalized near Miami, and they all wrote, "Fuck Elon," on them. I think we have a video that we're going to show that highlights exactly what happened to Elon Musk, richest man in the world, which we'll talk about in a second. The haters showing up to say hello. Go ahead.
This is on our website, too.
This is on VT.com. This was actually shot by Only in Dade. Shout out to
leased this parking lot and brought a lot of Tesla trucks. They started bringing 3 days ago, but look what happened. They vandalized all the cars.
Oh my gosh.
All the Tesla trucks.
Could you imagine?
This parking lot has been empty
See what it says?
for years.
Yeah. Fuck Elon.
Tesla just leased,
Yikes.
and someone did this.
So
What a disaster.
that is someone making a massive impact in the world. And you know who's out there? You know who's out there just creeping, spray painting things now? You know who it is?
The haters.
The haters.
The haters.
They're out there. They're everywhere. They're looking to hate. Dave Chappelle used to have a thing called the Play a Hater's Ball.
Oh.
And literally they would get out there and just hate on one another. But that was a joke. But the reality is this, as Elon Musk once said, the price, you get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. The bigger things that you do, the bigger impact that you make, you will be paid for that. So if you have an average job that anyone can do, then you're not going to get paid well. If you do something better than most that people can't do, all of a sudden, you're getting paid very handsomely. Elon Musk, by far and away right now, the richest person in the world, he got paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of the problem that he's solving. I'm talking about EVs, I'm talking about rocket ships, I'm talking about what he's doing with X, I'm talking about Neuralink, I'm talking about tunnels, I'm talking about everything that he's doing to change the planet. No wonder he is the richest man in the world. I think we have the Forbes real-time billionaires list. If you scroll down, you'll see.
Winners and losers.
Scroll down. Number one on the list. Go ahead, Nat. Read him.
Number one is net worth is $215 billion. Jeff Bezos, number two, $204 billion. Bernard Arnault and his family, 200 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, 178 billion. Larry Ellison, 170 billion. Larry Page.
Yep. Those are the Google boys. There's Warren Buffett. Just read to the
billion.
top 10.
Google. Sergey Brin, he's also from Google, 144 billion. Number 8, Warren Buffett, 135 billion. Berkshire Hathaway. Number 9, Bill Gates, 133 billion with Microsoft. And number 10, Steve Ballmer, 131 billion with
So here's what I'll
Microsoft.
say, rapid fire. Steve Ballmer, he was the number 2 guy at Microsoft. 2, Bill Gates. He now owns the Clippers. He gets hated on. Nobody gets more hate than Elon Musk. I mean, we saw what happened with the cars right there. Jeff Bezos gets hated on. Bernard Arnault, he's the richest man in Europe, LVMH. He gets hated on left and right. Mark Zuckerberg, oh my God, Mark Zuckerberg gets hated on. I've hated on Mark Zuckerberg. But again, we'll talk about where the hate comes from. Larry Ellison, he doesn't get that much hate. But, you know, he's doing his thing. Larry Page, Google, they own YouTube. We would never hate on YouTube. We love you, YouTube. That's what's going on right there. You're beautiful people. Warren Buffett, beautiful man. Keep scrolling. Warren Buffett. I don't see Warren Buffett getting a ton of hate, but there's a lot of people that think they're better investors than Warren Buffett. They think they know better than him. Bill Gates gets a ton of hate. But the bigger you are, the more money you have, the more status that you've achieved, the bigger the impact, you're going to have some haters. But here's the deal about hate. I want you to remember one thing. Hate, where does it come from? Hate never comes from above. It always comes from below. The haters are always below you. Hate, 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 hate. And you know who agrees with me? Our friend Andrew Tate. He actually talked about this exact same thing, about where the hate comes from, and it's never from above. You have that video of Andrew Tate?
Yes, I do.
Let's go.
Hate never comes from above, and if you're truly unhappy with yourself and you're truly not confident, then you're going to hate the people who are. You're jealous. Jealousy is a huge driving factor. I like to believe that humans are quite apathetic. We don't really give a shit. And to see someone else and be so viscerally enraged by them, to be so angry at them, there has to be a driving force, which is something like jealousy. Otherwise, you're just like, oh, whatever. Why would they care what I say? I don't talk to these people. Why do they care what I say so much?
That Penis Morgan interview you did with Tia was...
So there it was. So hate never comes from above. Nobody that's rich and successful is just looking around to hate on people. I'm going to read a couple quotes, some of my favorite quotes out there about hating. The poor hate the rich. The fat hate the fit. The sayer hates the doer. Hating is easy, winning isn't. You know, there was a famous poem called The Man in the Arena. The credit goes to the man in the arena. This was Teddy Roosevelt, the doer, the person who's doing the person that is getting their face bloodied, marred, and dirty, not the critic that is watching the man in the arena. Pretty interesting out there. Here's a couple different hater quotes for you right now. Some of the haters. Lil Wayne right here. Haters only hate things they can't have and the people they can't be. It's just a little thing called jealousy. By the way, you notice that he rhymed that thing.
I hope so.
The people that they can't be is a thing called jealousy. Lil Wayne, I'm making it rain. I'm making it rain. Thank you, Lil Wayne, for making it rain on these haters out here. Yeah. By the way, I think Drake had a thing that he wanted to talk about the haters out there. Pull up Drake real quick. What did Drake had to say about the haters? He said, haters don't really hate you. They hate who?
Themselves.
They hate themselves. Because you're a reflection of what they wish to be. That's the haters out there. By the way, there's a basketball player that got a lot of hate. He plays for the Lakers. His name is Austin Reeves. He gets hated on because he's a white boy on the Lakers. He said, hey, listen, if you ain't got no haters,
you ain't popping.
Let's get it on and popping, Chris Brown style.
Yes.
But yes, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. But all those things, that hate comes from jealousy. Hate comes from below. Hate comes from people that don't want to see you win, not because they don't want to see you win, it's because they're not happy with their lives. Here's what I'll tell you to the people out there right now. There's two types of people out there in the hate community. There's the people that are doing the hating, and there's people that are being hated on. So here's my message to the haters and to the people who are doing their thing being hated on. To the people who are hating, show me your life. Show me your results, okay? Show me your bank account. Show me how fit you are. Show me your girl. Show me your wife. Show me your physique. Show me your bank account. Show me what you got going on. Because I guarantee if you're that dude doing that hating, things aren't doing so good in your life. Winners don't have time to just send hate all around. That's my message to the haters out there. Take a good long look in the mirror, and if everything's going great, then start hating. Until then, just keep grinding.
Yeah.
To the people who are getting hated on, get used to it. Because if you're having success, as we just highlighted, whether it's Elon Musk, whether it's Jeff Bezos, whether it's Andrew Tate, whether it's Drake, whether it's Lil Wayne, whether it's basketball players, there's more hate coming your way because the more success you have, the higher you get on the mountaintop, the haters are going to show up. Oh, believe me, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, haters. Tune out the noise. Don't worry about that. Because what's the basketball player said? What did he say? If you ain't got any haters, you ain't popping. Here's what last thing I'll say about the haters out there. You know, our logo here at Valuetainment, it is what?
Lion.
It's a lion. And you know what they say about lions? Lion does not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. So if you're one of the sheeple out there, if you're one of the haters, do better because you too can improve. You too can do better. You too can look better. You too can save more money. You too can have a bigger impact. You too can turn into one of the people that gets hated on. It can happen.
Tables turn.
The tables turn, the haters turn, and that's my turn. Keep grinding until the haters become your appreciator. Yeah, there it was right there. By the way, you know what Elon Musk said to all the haters out there?
What?
He didn't say shit. He just counted his money and said, yeah, let's just produce a couple more
Keep going.
paychecks out there, Tesla trucks.
That's a good response.
Don't lose sleep to all the haters out there. So, you know a person, we're going to do the next story right now. We got 2 more stories left.
We've got some super chats.
We got some super chats. We'll do the super chats at the end.
Okay.
So, I could tell you this. Was anybody hated on in the world more than Will Smith over the last few years?
Yeah.
I mean, after the slap heard around the world, the haters, they came out hating
Hate-land.
on Will Smith. I mean, this was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This was Independence Day. This was the Pursuit of Happiness. This was the Wild Wild West. This was the baddest bad boy on the block. But look, don't look now. Do you know what the #1 action movie in America is these days? Do you know what the, I think, #2 movie overall in the country these days is? Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Here we go.
Will Smith and my dude, Martin Lawrence, he's back. The only movie that's bigger than him is some kid's cartoon movie. I don't know, don't even look into it. But shout out to Will Smith tuning out the haters and just getting to work.
Yep.
It's been a box office hit. By the way, box office hit, if you scroll down, how much money did it make? If you don't know what it is, it's fun. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars.
It says,
Bad Boys.
Yeah, 300 million.
How much?
Where?
Yeah,
300 million.
Yeah, 300 million.
globally.
In less than a month.
Second biggest install.
Bye. Guys, don't look now.
Yeah.
The Fresh Prince is back, baby.
It's back. I hope
Okay,
so.
but I said, after getting hated on so hard, you know, all the rumors, all the allegations, everyone did stories about this, including us.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't so much hate on Will Smith, but again, hate never comes from above. Will Smith, above 99.999% of the world.
Yeah.
I said, why would you be with a woman that basically embarrasses you? Get out of there. You're Will Smith. You're the man. Go talk to Tate. Go talk to Leonardo DiCaprio. He's still with her. Turns out this guy, I guess, knows what he's doing. He's focused on his career. He's focused on his grind. He's focused on making movies. I said, I got to find out why Will Smith tunes out the haters and keeps grinding. And I found this clip about Will Smith. If you want a secret sauce to Will Smith, take it from me, the sauce man. This is amazing advice from Will Smith. Go ahead.
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. I've viewed myself as, slightly above average in talent. And where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. I will not be outworked, period. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, you might be sexier than me, but if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's two things. You're getting off first, or I'm gonna die. It's really that simple. The majority of people who aren't getting the places they want or aren't achieving the things that they want in this business is strictly based on hustle. It's strictly based on being outworked. It's strictly based on missing crucial opportunities. I say all the time, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
So, by the way, he said, I will stay on the treadmill until I die. By the way, what was the name of the movie that just came out? If you go back to that story.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Ride or die.
This guy is taking his own advice. He ain't messing around. So Will Smith, shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who bet on Will Smith to make this massive comeback. The comeback heard around the world. I completely appreciate what he's saying. Now, there's a couple things that I want to say about hard work and talent. By the way, Will Smith, massively talented.
Oh, yeah.
Massively talented. So don't, buy the I'm not that talented. There's people that are more talented than me. He's clearly talented. He rapped, he acted, he sang, he did his thing.
Dance.
He's a movie star, TV star, social media. Triple threat. Complete triple threat. The only thing he hasn't done is politics, and I don't know if that's coming. But imagine having all that talent, but saying, yeah, my hard work is even doper than my talent. What's the famous thing that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard? There's a lot of talented people that never made it into movies. There's a lot of talented people that never made it into the NBA. I know some. They're super, super talented, but they just didn't put in the work. He's talking about the hustle. There it is right there. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Oh, better believe it.
Yep.
So if you have talent and you match that with working hard, forget about it.
Yep.
Forget about it. So where am I going with this conversation right now? Here's my advice to the millennials and the Gen Zs of the world. There's a whole conversation with, they call it Zennials right here, which is a combination of just 20 and 30-somethings, Gen Z and millennials, about something called work-life balance. Hey, I got to have a work-life balance. I want to have 50% work and 50% balance, and I want it to be perfect, and life's going to be perfect, and it's a work-life balance. And that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm desiring, and I'll accept nothing less. Okay. Well, good luck getting everything you want, having a perfect work-life balance. Here's some stats for you right now. 74% of business leaders find it more challenging to work with Gen Z over concerns of effort and motivation. Way out there. You can move away this article. 65% want to fire Gen Z employees more frequently than other age groups. It's something going on with the Gen Z. I don't know. We got some good employees out here with the Gen Z out here. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're the oldest Gen Z, I want to say, 25-ish. Youngest millennials. But the work-life balance, here's what I could tell you about having a work-life balance. Everybody wants to have a work-life balance. You don't get to being Will Smith having a good work-life balance. You don't get to being Patrick Bet-David having a good work-life balance. You don't get to being Elon Musk having a work-life balance. This guy would tell stories about how he would sleep in the Tesla factory and work his ass off. Nothing good, nothing great, nothing amazing comes from having a good work-life balance. Now, you can't be super rich and have a work-life balance. You got to pick one. You're going to have to sacrifice. Now, my work-life balance, I have what is called sustained energy, meaning I'm not the guy that's up at the crack of dawn and I'm working harder. I'm just not stopping. I work 7 days a week, and I abide by the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, I'm working. 20% of the time, I'm enjoying life. But even when I'm enjoying life, Nat knows this, when I'm out there going out, I said, what did I tell you that one time? We're not partying.
Oh, yeah, we're networking.
We're networking.
Yep.
Going around, talking to people, meeting people.
Which
How
we
you
do.
doing? Good to see you. Hey, what's going on? I partied enough for 10 lifetimes.
Yeah.
No doubt. In my 20s and in my 30s, all right. At this phase of my life, dude, I am all about building. Now, you can work in spurts, in sprints, or work as a marathon. I'm a marathon runner.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. I know a lot of people are like, dude, I'm up at 6. I'm fucking working out. I'm doing my thing. I'm in bed by 9 p.m. It's like, okay. I might be up a little bit later than you. I might definitely be up later than you, go to bed later than you. But it's 7 days a week. And you don't get greatness by having a perfect work-life balance. So unless you have rich parents and come from a silver spoon effect, you're going to have to work harder, you're going to have to work smarter, or you're going to have to lower your expectations for what you're going to want in life. Because it ain't going to come to you having this work-life balance, something going on. Dr. Scott Galloway is something that I admire. We talked about him earlier. He says, you can have it all. You just can't have it all at once. So you can have it all if you work your ass off, and then you can kind of chill in the end, or you can chill now, but then you're going to have to work your ass off. Very hard to do both, except if you're a beautiful girl and you find a nice husband who says, I'll do all the working, you do all the chilling, you just, you take care of the family, you be a nice homemaker and housewife. And there's some ladies out there that say, how does that sound?
That's different work, but yes,
How do you think that sounds for some ladies
I don't
out there?
like it.
You don't like that?
I would like to stay home maybe part of the day, but the other part of the day, I like to work. I
Okay.
like to.
Well, it's interesting conversation. The saddest women in the world, this is going a different way here, talk about work-life balance. The saddest women in the world. The women are taking the most drugs, not married, no kids, married to their job. They're taking all the depression pills, all the anxiety pills, the Chelsea Handlers of the world, drinking during the day, right? And she has money, but imagine the lady who makes 80 grand a year, what she's doing. But to your credit, the second least happy, the housewife who all she does is work for her family and doesn't have a
hobby,
a passion or a hobby on her own.
Exactly.
So there's a little balance out there for the ladies out there.
Yeah.
But for a man, listen, get to work, bro. Men are built to work. We built for this. Okay? And for you young Gen Z types out there that don't want to work, I got news for you. I got something to explain to you. You better work. I think RuPaul once said that.
You better work.
Work it, girl.
Work.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
Last point right here. As you start to grind, as you start to work, as you start to do your thing, some of you guys are actually going to make some money, right? What they said the key to having more money these days? Working, having an income. Here's an article right here talking about how to handle making more money than your friends. And by the way, some of you guys, there's Nat right there, the money girl. Some of you guys are actually going to have to learn to handle how you're making less money than your friends.
Boo.
But let that potentially be a motivator right there for you guys right there. So they talk about a change in someone's financial situation can upend relationships. The best advice, talk about it. The best advice, just talk about it. What does that mean? So if you're making less than all your friends, like I found myself making less than all my friends in my mid-20s.
You guys talk
I was like,
about
holy
it?
shit. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like I told the story about the guy that made 7. I was like, how did you do this? You're in real estate? What does that mean? What is it?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm broke. I want to learn from you. Put the humility aside. Put the ego aside. They say the ego is not the amigo. Bro, what's going on here? I'm definitely not going to be hating on my friend. Oh, fucking piece of shit. Thinks he's too cool for me. No, I'll say, hey, bro, what's going on right there? Learn from your friends that are making more money. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask for advice. You should be afraid to ask for money. I've given friends money. Very rarely do I get paid back. But fool me once. Shame on. Fool me twice.
You can't get
Can't fool me again. Yeah. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. Thanks, George W. Bush, for that one right there. But if you're making less than your friends, if you're a poor friend, learn from your rich friends. Now, here it is.
But what about the rich
If you're
friends?
making more, if you're now the rich friend, here's what I'll tell everybody. You can't take everyone with you. Not everyone is going to be on your level. At some point, those are just going to be your friends, or maybe even your former friends, or even guys you hang out with every once in a while, because maybe they're just not on your level. And maybe they are childhood friends. Maybe they are high school friends. Maybe they are college friends. Maybe they're not lifelong friends. It's going to happen. If they're a real friend, they'll be in your life. But if they're not, some friends come and go.
Yep.
So if you're making less, learn from your rich friends. If you're making more than all your friends, you're probably going to be elevating to a different caliber of friendships. You know that you say you are some of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? Eventually, you're going to be spending more time with people who make more money than you. You know, they say that if you're the smartest guy in the room or the richest guy in the room, find another room.
Yes.
That's what I had to do. When I found myself being the smartest guy in the room, I was like, I got to get out of this retarded room.
Yeah.
When I found myself being the richest guy in the room, I was like, I got to get out of this broke-ass room.
No.
And I found myself being in richer rooms and in smarter rooms. And it's okay to not be the richest, and it's okay to not be the smartest, because that's how you learn and that's how you grow.
Right.
But some people don't want to learn and don't want to grow. I'll tell you one quick story. I remember being with a famous NBA player who'd made $100 million in his career. And he made way more than me. Now, I've done good, but not at this guy's level. And I was with another friend who was literally broke. And I'm asking the guy, hey, tell me what you did with your money.
Yeah.
And he's giving me, well, here's what I do with real estate. And all of a sudden, the broke guy goes, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, because what I think is, I said, hold on, aren't you broke? Don't you actually owe me money? With all due respect, shut up. But there's some people that you can't take with you, and they gotta go. But that's what happens. So Will Smith, shout out to you, making a comeback. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Respect to Will Smith doing his thing. Respect to the hard workers out there who are grinding and saying work-life balance, not for me. I'm kind of doing better than all my friends. Well, hey, maybe you can't take them with you. Respect to the grinders out there and the hustlers out there. Save that money. Okay, last thing. This is the happy ending. And we're going to talk about, can money buy happiness? This is an age-old question.
Yes.
Can money buy happiness? Does happiness come from money? Well, we're going to have that conversation real quick. Now, before I give you the answer here, here's one of the most famous scenes from one of my favorite movies, Boiler Room, at 1.25, where Ben Affleck walks in with a big swinging and tells everybody, listen up, y'all. I know what I'm doing here. Can money buy happiness? Check me out. Go ahead.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't fucking have any. They say money can't buy happiness. Look at that fucking smile.
Look at
on
that
my
smile.
face. Ear to ear, baby.
Look how young he was.
You want details? Fine.
There
I'm
it is.
driving a
Boom.
Ferrari.
Okay. And then he goes on to say how he basically has a sick car, sick house, sick life, sick jewelry. Okay. They say that money can buy happiness. Well, look at the smile on my fucking face. Ear to ear, baby. All right.
Money.
Well, can money buy happiness? You guys let me know. Can money buy happiness? Well, it turns out it can.
Yay.
But it depends on what you spend it on. So here's an article right here. Money can't buy happiness? Actually, it's the other way around. Happy people are more successful in life. So money, there's a direct correlation with money and happiness. You know, I talk about the big 3, health, wealth, and happiness. What's happiness? Happiness is having meaning and purpose in your life and not talking about it, being about it, actions over words. In a survey of 2,000 Americans, respondents said they would need a substantial pay bump to be happy, meaning they said they want more money because more money will lead to being happier. Interesting. Here's some stats for you. The median salary of participants was $65,000. Do you know what the average salary that they said that they wanted at $65,000 that would make them happy at 65 now? What do you think it was?
I don't know.
How much?
100, is it?
$95,000. Nat, you're allowed to talk. There's a microphone there. People earning $250,000 said that they would need this amount to be happy. What do you think that number is?
500.
350. Not bad. It's a 50% increase. Basically saying, in order to be happy, I want more money. Okay.
Yeah.
So money maybe can buy happiness. Look at the smile on my face. Ear to ear, baby. Okay. Thank you, Ben Affleck. Now here it is. Here's some more stats for you. Baby boomers, the old folks out there.
Uh-oh.
How much did you think they said that they would want a year in order to be happy?
Oh.
Give a number.
Today?
Right now, baby boomers.
500,000.
124,000. Interesting.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, actually.
Millennials, on the other hand, how much you think they need to make a year in order to be happy?
$1 million.
$500,000. You had it right there.
Sorry.
Men and women. Talking about happiness.
Yeah.
Should we go with the men first or the women first?
Let's go with the men and then
The
shock
men
us
first.
with the women.
How much money does the average man say that he wants in order to be happy? Money a year.
500.
380,000.
Okay.
Interesting. Now a woman.
$1 million.
How much does she want?
$1 million.
It's actually less than the man. 183,000.
Really?
Interesting. Money, happiness, there's a direct correlation right there. They say that money can't buy happiness. Look at the smile on my face, ear to ear, baby. There's Ben Affleck right there. Here's a different article right now where it says, this is from USA Today. If you scroll down, how much money it costs to be happy in different cities. It turns out that based on the city that you're in, it's going to cost a little bit of more money
Makes sense.
to be happy. As it turns out, cities like in California,
Yeah.
LA, San Francisco,
it's
you're going to
closer.
need well over
$160,000
$150,000 a year to be happy. Also in New York
Florida.
City. Now, it also turns out that in cities in the South, in cities in the Midwest, happiness is actually somewhere around $80,000 to $100,000. So lifestyles of the rich and famous, lifestyle creep, depends on the city you're in. By the way, if you scroll down a little bit more, you can find specific cities where they're talking about the lowest and the highest. Santa Barbara, California, gorgeous. In order to be happy, 162. Nat, read it fast.
162 Santa Barbara, Honolulu, Hawaii, 148,000. New York is number 3 at 145,000. San Francisco number 5 with 144,000, and Seattle at number 5, 134,000. That's
And
the
the
highest.
lowest, okay.
Lowest is Knoxville, Tennessee, 88,000. Cincinnati, Ohio, 93,000. Memphis, Tennessee, 94,000. Salt Lake City, Utah, 95,000, and Louisville, Kentucky, 96,000.
Well done. Now, I'll tell you something about this. This doesn't mean this is the money they're making. This is the money they want to be making. Because if you learned anything in the stats that I told you, a person making 65,000 says that they want to make 95,000 to be happy. And a person making 250 would like to be making 350. So a 50% increase is what people would like to be
Looking
happy.
for.
But I started off with the whole segment about Ben Affleck. And they said that money can't buy happiness. Look at the smile on my face, ear to ear. And then he went on talking about his car, his house, his jewelry. But it turns out those material items don't make you happy. Now, here's some scientific research about what making happy is. So Harvard researchers, by the way, this is in that article from USA Today, said the following. I want you to know what sticks out to you before we wrap up here. Harvard researchers, it's not the amount of money that you have that makes you happy. It's how you spend it. They go on. They say the quality of our social relationships, aka friendships, the quality of our social relationships is a strong determinant of happiness. Friendships, relationships, happiness. Because of this, almost anything we do to improve our connections with others to improve our happiness. This is relationships over retail. Because it turns out that when you buy stuff, it is what's known as a sugar high. Oh, I just bought this, now I'm happy. Oh, I got to buy something else. But it turns out when you have good times, and you have experiences, when you help others, when you spend, have good times with others, it actually is sustainable. Here's some more research for you from a social scientist, Arthur Brooks, emphasizes that money doesn't buy happiness unless it is used for experiences, gaining extra time, or donating to others. Again, relationships or improving your life, not buying stuff. You know, they say that there used to be a phrase, he who dies with the most toys wins. You know what that means? So if you die and you got the boat and the yacht and the car and the this and the that, you win. Well, it turns out that actually led you to being broke. And then in the Washington Post, it was a new article that says, now it turns out he who dies with the least amount of toys wins, because it's all about experiences over material goods.
I agree.
So donating time to others. Instead, happiness comes from building strong social connections and finding purposeful engagement. That's from a different social researcher and social scientist other than the Harvard researchers. Last thing I'll say is this. Research suggests, this is in-depth research, guys. You ready for it? Research suggests that while higher incomes generally correlate with increased happiness, and why is that? Moving from a financially stressful situation to stability often brings greater happiness. AKA, not having money stresses you the fuck out.
Pretty forward.
Yeah. So I like the way that they write articles saying moving from financially stressful situation to stability often brings greater happiness. Turns out being broke is pretty damn stressful. And as Kanye once said, having money isn't everything, but not having it is. So is money the cure to everything? No. But you guys know, if you've ever been broke, what not having money does to your life stresses you the out. So it's not often that I'm quoting Kanye for his philosophical greatness. It's usually his rap flow, but Kanye does have a point there, right there. So just to recap this, we talked about a few different things today. If you want to be rich, it turns out you got to make money. Thanks for that comedian who let us know that. But it turns out in order, if you want to be rich and make money, get into sales. Shout out to PBD and what he's taught literally tens of thousands of people at PHP, and myself included, on how to sell and make more money. Don't follow your passion. Don't follow your money. Follow your skills. What are you good at? Follow your talent. So respect on that. Beyond that, spending money. We learned from the guy, don't spend all your money because you will be broke.
Wow.
Right, Nat?
Yes.
Horrible financial advice, but who did give great financial advice was that rabbi speaking with the money smart guy, talking about how to have balance with your budget. Balance your budget, having your needs, having your wants, and having your savings, and what you're able to do with that. And PBD talking about make sure that the young wolf takes care of the future old wolf. Will Smith, he's back at it. Back at it. #1 action movie star in the world. Again today, work hard, and then you can play hard. What do they say? Hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work hard, look at him doing his thing. Respect on that. There's always going to be people and haters dragging you down. F the haters. If you don't have haters, you ain't popping. And last but not least, does money buy happiness? Yes, but don't use it on material items. Use it on experience with your friends and your family. Save that money. Okay. So, Nat, before we wrap up, there's some things you want to go over with me? Okay.
Yeah, well, thank you for today. I think you gave some great advice, some great experience. We have some super chats. Shout out to everybody in the super chats. First one we have is from Bobby Tama. Invaluable advice. Then we have Alex de la Cruz. Save that money.
There you go, Alex de la Cruz.
This was his 20th chat also.
Bobby and
Shout
Alex.
out to you. Yes. And then we've got our last one, which is Mike Klum, our biggest chat, SOSCAST. Happy SOSCAST Day.
There you go. Thank you. I'm thinking, some of these money episodes is what we're getting back to. Money, dating, relationships, politics, this, culture. At the end of the day, we're here for you. If you got some value of what we were doing today, talking that money, all we talk is money, sub to the channel, give this a like so more people out there can learn what to do with their money.
Money.
And on Thursday's show, where more people can do to get that honey out there. We'll be back on Thursday, only here on Valuetainment. It's the SOSCAST, baby. We out. All we talk is money.
It's the SOSCAST, baby.